What's going on, guys? We are Tottenham TV here, back with another transfer video. Comes after the news of the report from Dan Kilpatrick of the London Evening Standard, talking about how Tottenham are going to be limited to free transfers and swap deals this summer with no transfer funds available after the coronavirus has hit. Obviously, all Premier League clubs have been hit quite badly. I'm here to discuss it with Joe and Slav, and maybe we can come up with some solutions with some free transfers available this summer that maybe could interest us if it is indeed true that there will be no transfer funds available. Slav, you all right?
Yeah, bro, I'm all good. You okay?
Nothing surprising in this report. You don't think Daniel Levy closing up the coffers this summer?
No, not even in the slightest. Yeah, I mean, if we can get some swap deals done, I don't know. Just not really sure what to believe or what to read anymore. So.
I know the news kind of changes every day. You're not really sure what's true, what's not. One day we're linked with signing £30 million players, £40 million players. The next day there's saying there's going to be no funds available. Would you be surprised, Joe, if that's the case, that Daniel Levy's saying we're not going to spend any money at all in the summer? If there is, we don't even know if the season's finishing yet, but would that surprise you?
What Spurs fan wouldn't be surprised with Levy at the top? I'm never surprised when we don't spend money, and especially earlier today finding out that the NFL isn't going to be hosted at the Spurs Stadium. He's going to lose out on money there, and that was a big sort of commitment for him to get in the new stadium. That was a big part of that. So the fact that he's not going to have that money coming in hasn't surprised me at all. That I've seen Dan Kilpatrick put this out.
Yeah, and obviously Tottenham are rumoured to be one of the clubs who are going to be hit hardest by the corovirus due to obviously the new stadium being built.
Maybe that's why the furlough, the decision to originally furlough some of the staff, because it's going to hit us the hardest. Obviously, he's reversed that decision now, but maybe that's the thinking behind it, is just because of the new stadium and it is going to affect us most.
Yeah, possibly, but obviously the amount of money we're going to be spending on the staff it's like a drop in the ocean compared to a lot of the other costs we're going to have.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That shouldn't be the first thing to go. That was probably people's main complaint with that. But obviously, as you mentioned, Joe, the news that NFL are no longer going to be coming to Spurs next season. That's costing Spurs tens of millions of pounds, reportedly anyway. But do you think we need a big transfer budget, or is there enough talent, do you think, in the free market with some good contracts that we can maybe take advantage of that?
Depends on our ambitions for the next season or two, really. Depends what we want to do, where we want to go, where do we want to finish, what do we want to win. I think to win trophies and to be at the top, you've got to spend money. So I think if it is just free transfers and swap deals, and it's going to be another season of disappointment, and it will be Jose who gets the blame, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that's sort of how it is, really. Obviously, there's loads of players at the end of their contracts this summer. I mean, even some at Spurs, the likes of Jan Vertonghen. So it's difficult. It's difficult to say. Like I said, it depends on what our ambitions for next season.
But do you even blame Levy if that is the case, that we can't spend money? Do you blame him at all?
No, but people will blame him. People will blame him.
But you don't personally, not so much.
You can't blame a single person on what's happened. You can't blame this on a single person. Everything that's happened. It's not an ideal situation, but it's a situation that we're all in. And come whenever the transfer window does open, if it's like I said, if it's free transfers and swap deals only, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough.
Do you think there's any clubs are going to be spending money this summer? Like big spending, like how we've had in the past, 80 million.
There'll be some.
It all depends on the decision. It all depends on the decision whether the Prem's going to finish this season. If it starts again next season from scratch and the last one's void, then it's going to be a big impact compared to whether we just have 6 games left. So there's still a lot that's unknown.
Also that they're going to reduce. They don't even have a choice anymore. Agent fees are going to be reduced. Signing on fees are going to have to be reduced. loads of clauses, yearly wage rises, all of this. They're all going to have to be reduced, or even just not included in contracts anymore. So it is going to be difficult. But in terms of who we bring in free on a free transfer or swap deal, is there anyone out there good enough to take us up a level? Not really, probably not.
To take us up a level, probably not. But in terms of good enough to be in our squad, there's obviously well documented interest in Thomas Meunier from PSG. He's on a free transfer, so he would be one.
That looks like it's off. That looks like it's off now.
Oh, is it? Is that why is that? I haven't read that.
I saw that it was off when we looked into the right back video. Thomas Meunier deal off. Also, you got to remember with the players overseas, it's not going to be easy for them.
What, due to wages or something? Or
no idea. No, I'm not Thomas Meunier.
I'm saying, what did you read? I don't know what you read.
I don't. It just said
I haven't
Thomas
seen
Meunier.
it's off.
It just said Thomas Meunier.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I was speaking to Ben about. If you watch, I'll tell you what. Watch my right back video, Sim, on your channel.
I did watch it. I knew
it was off. Then you know.
I was trying to get specifics of where you read that because I never actually read it.
I read it on Twitter.
Okay.
I don't remember who the source was. I have no idea if it's on or off. But the problem with signing players overseas is, can they even come here?
Why not? I think he's got international pedigree.
I'm not talking about whether they're good enough. I'm talking about whether it's safe.
Oh, I see what you mean.
When it's all over, it will be safe for him to come back because we won't be playing football if people can't travel across countries. Then, it's not going to be playable. So I feel like when we can play, players can transfer and in between countries.
Well, we're looking at the transfer window. If it does go ahead, if the season ends, you're probably looking at a transfer that's going to start around August time. That's probably the most likely. If the season does kind of get started in a month's time, which even right now doesn't look that likely, but if that's the case, then that's when the transfer window would probably open around then. So you'd have to think that they wouldn't open it if it wasn't safe for players to go abroad and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess so much is unknown at the moment. It's almost like you don't know how to talk about the transfer window and all these clubs spending money and all that when so much is left up in the air. It's a bit monotonous, I feel, actually. Like, kind of the papers pumping out transfer news like nothing's going on. It's a bit strange, but I guess in this kind of situation where we're just signing free transfer,
so much unknown.
Yeah. But maybe this is the more likely scenario. Most clubs won't be able to spend any money, and everyone's going to be fighting over these free transfers, and you might have to get in there early.
Yeah, possibly, mate. Go on.
Go on.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say it's like the same with Meunier. If that deal looks to be off, we might have to go in for him again because we haven't got much options, and that might cause other clubs to want to come in as well for him because other clubs are going to need strikers in the Prem, and it's all going to be a mess, and it's just so much unknown at the moment.
Sim, would you look at swapping any of our current players for other players?
I would. I guess. I think there's some quality. First of all, I'd get Vertonghen signed up again because there's no point letting him go on a 3 if we're going to be struggling for centre back options to replace him. We might as well.
Personally, I disagree with that. It's just going to be.
I would sign him up again. I would sign him up again. What are we going to do? We can't spend money on a centre back at the moment. So what's the point of letting him go?
When you look at swap deals and other deals, I just don't think Jan Vertonghen is good enough anymore. He's 33 years old. He's too slow.
Not that he was back to his very good up. I know he's had a poor season, but I wouldn't give up on him just yet. And
people aren't just going to let people go on freeze to because they're going to struggle to get players in as well. So we might just see a lack of transfers altogether.
Who would I give up for a swap deal in our maybe
Harry Winks?
Who, Harry Winks?
I'd give Lamela up, depending on who it was, but I think Lamela is someone we could get a decent quality player for.
Maybe Eric Dyer.
Yeah,
definitely.
Willing to open to a swap deal.
What about Mora? What would you guys say about Mora?
No, I think he's a good squad player.
No, I think exactly. I think I'd keep him. I think we need some sort of squad with him, Bergwijn, Son, that's good attacking options.
One Foyth could probably definitely go actually.
Fish him out.
Who?
I said get him out, shift him.
Oh, get him out. Yeah, Foy.
What about
I like Foy,
Willian
but he hasn't
Famora?
shown enough. And Clear, I don't know if Mourinho fancies him.
I can't think of anyone else. We've got. I mean, if Danny Rose comes back from a loan spell, let's look at swapping Danny Rose with somebody.
So I guess we've got a few options that we can.
There's a couple of options in there
that you can use as make weight.
Yeah, no, there are a couple of people in there.
What about some players who obviously available on a free? There's Willian, obviously well documented. We're going to be interested.
Yeah, Willian, Ryan Fraser.
Ryan, what do you think about Ryan Fraser potential deal? According to people on Twitter or whatever,
he's been very poor this season.
He wants to choose Spurs over Arsenal. He has been very poor, but he opened up on that himself in January. He was saying that he was too concerned about looking for a move, and he wasn't playing for the team. He was too distracted. And I think once he said that, he actually started improving a bit in his form. And obviously, the season before, they had a great season. Getting loads of assists, I think 15 assists or something like that, and a few goals. Would you like him as a squad player, as a player to come in and help boost the squad?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, but he's not got any European experience. He had a great season a couple of years ago with Bournemouth when he got that record assist with Callum Wilson. So he could be quite good, but at the same time, is he really a player that you look at and go, oh yeah, he's a top player? He'll make a difference. He'll come. I mean, it would be a good side.
He's not going to be He's not going to be any more than a squad player.
Yeah, it'll be a sporadic squad player.
At the start of the transfer sort of window, before all of this has come out that we're not going to be spending a lot, we would no way have accepted him. And I think, it's just going to be so annoying because we're not going to get anyone great in. I can tell now if this is what Levy's going to be saying.
It's obviously very frustrating because
it's going to be the same over and over again. Players that are just good enough to get into the squad and no one that we need to take us up to that level again of challenging for the Prem.
The problem we've had for the last few years, one of the main reasons why we've never signed anyone is other than your Harry Kanes and your Sons, there's no one in the squad that is like a big time player.
And no, that's so true. And we need to get one of that's who we were targeting sort of at the start. And
yeah, you have Son and Kane, and Son shows up.
Yeah, just that. Well,
what are you saying, Slav?
Yeah, we relied a lot on Harry Kane and Son, and they are big game players. But Harry's injured a lot, and Son can't do it all on his own. There's no one in that. There's no Gareth Bale in that squad. There's no Kevin De Bruyne in that squad, if that makes sense, or Sergio Aguero. There's no real winner who can take that real big statement signing, which I thought we could have done this summer with Jose in charge.
Obviously, we can always end up improving players, but I think if you look at our squad, I know obviously at the back line
we've got a good squad.
Major holes. We've got Ndombele, Lo Celso, who's still settling into the league, who've shown a lot of promise, who can really become stars. Obviously, you've got Son, you've got Kane, Bergwijn. Obviously, he's coming in January. He looks like a player who could really complement the squad. So there is some real quality in there. Hopefully, it's just all about moulding it together. And I know it hasn't been so far.
Look, when we've got a fully fit squad, scoring goals isn't the problem. I mean, when Kane and Son are fit, and when Kane, Son, Bergwijn, all of them, when they're all fit, we won't have a problem scoring goals. We'll score goals for fun. The problem will be stopping goals. And I'm sure, like I said to Ben, the two of you have probably seen that video on social media of all of our defensive errors this season leading to goals. It's honestly it looks hilarious and horrendous at the same time. So that's been our problem, and we need to really shore up that back four or five, whatever it is we're going to play.
Would you consider Adam Lallana as an option?
No.
A couple of years ago, yeah, he was quality for a few years ago, but now probably he's 32 now.
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly. And I think if we end up keeping Ndombele, we've still got a player there, and we can make sure he just works next season, focus a team around him, because he can be one of the best in this. He can be, like we were saying, like a Kane or Son type player in terms of level and quality.
Couple more. Dries Mertens.
Yep.
We'll
take him. He's great. He's really good. He's in his 30s, but he's a very, very good player.
He was rubbish at Everton.
Who?
Dries Mertens?
No, not Dries Mertens. Yeah, but I wouldn't take him anyway. I think he's too old.
I'd take Mertens. I think he's a good backup striker as well. We need a backup. I'd take Dries Mertens all day long.
Callahan? Jose Callahan from Napoli.
Yeah,
Good player.
I like him. I do.
Ryan Fraser.
Nah,
No, I take Ryan
I just
Fraser over
don't think
Callahan.
he could take us anywhere more than we
I
could already.
take Fraser over Callahan for the Premier League experience.
Really?
Okay. Ever Banega from Sevilla.
Yeah. Is he
Very,
a winger?
Very slow.
Mm-hmm.
Ava Banega.
But
He's a holding
playmaker.
midfielder. He's very slow. He's like a deep line playmaker. He's very slow.
You got him on FIFA.
Pardon?
Sounds like you've got him on FIFA. He's really slow.
No, I've just watched a lot of Spanish football, mate.
And last one, Levin Kuzawa.
No, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
We need left back, though.
Yeah, we do need a left back, but honestly, I'd rather play without one than him. He cannot defend.
Play Tanganga there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd rather play Joe there.
All right, guys. All right, cheers.
No, Levin Kuzawa is not good enough. And if you ask anyone that watches PSG a lot, they'll tell you the same.
He
Great
did
going
once
forward.
score a hat-trick, I think, in the Champions League for a left back, which is surprising.
I wouldn't take him either.
Yeah, he's great going forward, but defensively he's shambolic.
Another orange.
But I feel like there's probably a whole bunch of players out there.
There may be, but no one who's going to excite us, really.
Yeah, it's just going to be very boring. I don't even know what's going to happen this summer.
Maybe a lot of loan deals.
Yeah, but who is there? Who can
loan with the option to buy one of these things?
Who's going to want to let that? What team's going to want to let their players go on loan?
It's one of those like Lo Celso, how we got Lo Celso on loan, with an option to buy or with a.
Can you put those clauses in of an option to buy? Because what if it gets to the point where, what if it gets to the end of the season and you still can't afford to buy him due to the financial implications? So.
Also, given the fact that it's looking likely that Premier League clubs are saying they're preparing to play the whole of next season behind closed doors as well as the end of this season. So it's worrying, especially for Spurs, who've just built a new stadium. They rely so much on the fans coming in, getting all the beer and stuff in the stadium.
He's probably so excited to charge us all triple our season ticket prices.
Yeah.
Now he can't.
He's probably crying, would the season ticket renewals he's not going to be able to get so at the moment. And I think Spurs, more than most clubs, will rely on the money got from the fans, I think. And even get from the stadium. So it's going to hit us very hard.
And even if the fans were to go back to stadiums next year, a lot of people won't want to just because of how many people they're going to be there, and people are going to be paranoid and everything like that. So
the Emirates would only have 8 people in it.
Apparently, they might be using CGI fans in the stadium.
Oh God,
that wouldn't surprise me.
and fake noise, fake crowd noise.
Yeah, we've never had that.
Emirates will be louder than ever.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, we can get back to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium fairly soon.
It's not looking likely, Slav.
It's not looking likely, but hopefully we can at least sign players properly and not on free transfers.
No, you're not getting anything, Slav. You're not getting anything. You're not even getting a signing. You're not getting nothing. Right?
It's like my birthday.
It's going to be a tough road.
All right, guys. Cheers for coming on. Thanks a lot for contributing. Let us know in the comments below. What do you think of the news that Spurs potentially will only be getting loans, swap deals and free transfers? Let us know who you'd like to sign on a free transfer if that's the case. Like and subscribe and comment below. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Sid, please don't shave your head.
I'm not going to be shaving my head. Don't you worry about that.